Who's the boy suffering in this basement? My daughter's voice pierced the hallway like a needle through my spine. I stopped mid-step, looked back at her. 4 years old, innocent eyes wide, locked on the floor beneath her feet. My brother's hallway was quiet, too quiet. I'd visited dozens of times. Nothing had ever felt off before. Until now. "What boy?" I asked, crouching down to her level. She pointed again. "He's sad. He's chained." Then she smiled and walked off toward the kitchen as if she hadn't just fractured reality in half. I stared at the hardwood panels. Perfect, clean, but something felt hollow beneath them. I tapped the floor with my knuckles. It sounded like a lie. When I asked Michael about it, his laugh felt wrong, delayed, tense. "Come on," he said, "it's just a kid's imagination." Maybe. But her words echoed, and the house suddenly felt curated, sterile, the kind of clean that hides something. I noticed the padlock on the guest room door. He called it a wine room, but who locks up wine with a steel bolt? I watched my daughter play in the yard while I pretended to scroll my phone, and my mind circled something darker. Michael had always been a little too private, always had a reason not to let people in certain rooms, always said the basement was under renovation, yet I'd never seen a single tool. I watched him that night, the way he moved around the house like someone guarding secrets, the way he flinched when my daughter repeated the question at dinner. He joked again, but this time he didn't look at me, he looked down. I didn't confront. I investigated. The next day, while Michael took my daughter to the park, I stayed behind, pretending to nap. The moment they were gone, I moved. The guest room door wasn't hard to pick. I learned from watching crime documentaries, of all things. Pathetic irony. Inside, nothing but a rug and a faint draft of cold air. I pulled the rug aside. A trapdoor. Unpainted, worn, hidden beneath layers of silence. I opened it. The smell hit me first. Wet stone, rust, sweat. A ladder led down into shadow. I climbed, flashlight gripped tight, heart locked behind my ribs. The cellar wasn't empty. Chains hung from the wall. A mattress, damp and torn, lay in the corner. And curled on top of it, a boy. Thin, dirty, covered in old bruises and newer ones layered over them like secrets. He didn't flinch when I stepped forward. He just looked up and said my name. Not ma'am, not lady, my full name, like he knew me. I got him out, silently, carefully. I didn't call the police, not yet. I drove him to a motel outside town and gave him food, a blanket, space. He was 13. And he said he was my nephew, Michael's son. Not adopted, not from another woman, mine. I remembered the miscarriage, the one I never fully understood. 8 years ago, Michael had been the one driving me to the hospital. I had been half conscious from blood loss. I trusted him. He never let me see the body, never let me ask questions. And now this boy sat across from me, with my eyes. My father's cheekbones. A scar on his arm I knew I hadn't given, but he remembered getting, from Michael. I didn't cry. I couldn't. When Michael returned, I was already waiting in his kitchen. He didn't see it coming. I handed him a photo. The boy. Cleaned up. Alive. Free. Michael turned pale. He started. I know. Silence. He looked for anger in my face. There wasn't any, just calculation. I've already contacted child services. I have medical reports, photos. He told me everything. He stepped back. I stepped forward. He remembers the cage, Michael. He remembers the injections. He remembers you calling him a mistake. A twitch. His lips parted like he wanted to scream, but he didn't. He understood. He was done. "I won't ruin you," I said coldly. That would be too easy. I slid my phone across the table. A video was already playing. Michael's voice, screaming, threatening, recorded, saved, backed up in 6 different places. I leaned in. "You'll disappear, quietly, or I'll let the world see what you are." He didn't beg, but his eyes did. Michael's house is empty now. He left the country. No notice, no explanation, just vanished. My daughter sleeps soundly in her room. The boy, my son, shares the room next door. They bonded in days, as if they'd always known. Maybe they had. Sometimes I watch them play. Sometimes I think about what I missed, what was taken. Then I remember what I took back. I never told him I was his mother. Not yet. Some truths need to grow slowly, like flowers through concrete. I visit the trapdoor once more before we move. I stare into that dark. And then I close it forever. Locked, sealed, buried, just like him.